Here's another bad video, I guess. It's almost 10 o'clock in the morning and I already did everything I had to. Just have to cook the food. I started painting another painting, and it's gonna be very political, but I guess in my subconscious there is a lot of stuff happening. The things that you see don't registrate, but then again process through your mind when you sleep, I guess. And then wonders happen when you paint, because you don't think you think about political stuff, but actually they are inside your head. So, and plus in my country there's a lot of fuss about about the virus, in China, coronavirus, and there's so much hate and disbelief in my head that people are so I don't know, hateful all of a sudden. And there's so much racism in this world and so much misunderstanding other cultures, people, that it's just incredible. It's not that I support what they do there in China, with the animals and stuff. It's horrible, and I guess that's why they're paying for it. But hate is never an answer. And we have people here in my country walking around, tourists that are supposedly from China, and they're, oh, I painted so I'm full of color, and they're actually from Korea, and then they have written on their on the papers, we're not Chinese, we're Korean. And it's very funny, but it's also very sad that people have to degrade themselves to say, no, we are not the virus carriers. I mean, what the fuck, it's not like you're gonna get it just going outside. It's so stupid to me, and you all know that it's just a big show. I have a feeling that it's just made for other stuff for people not to look at, and it just drives me mad. But anyway, yeah, so it's very sunny outside. I'm not gonna go outside. I always wake up like a vampire at night, and I mean in the morning when it's night outside, and then I go out and I do everything I have to do till noon, and then I'm free. So I'm gonna cook some meal today. It's gonna be probably chicken and rice, yes. And my tooth is a bit better. It still hurts on touch here, but I called my dentist and she said that the lower jaw is just one connected tooth nerve here. All the teeth, I didn't know, go to the same nerve in the jaw. It's not like upper teeth. There's, so, the swelling is going down, the pain is, subsiding, but so it's gonna be good. But yeah, we have a lot of stuff going on in my country, and as I see everything in the world is just going crazy, and I don't think that many people even noticed what was happening in Australia. That drives me crazy, because it just drives me crazy, and that injustice that's been done to countries, people, animals, not just Australia, other countries like Africa as well. And here in my country there's a lot of political stuff happening, and it's just such a horrible time to live here as an artist. And I know it's not better in other countries either, but to go to Nordic countries or to Canada, for me it's a dream, and I'm gonna get there, believe me, sooner or later. even if I'm 50, I'm gonna be there, you know. I just know that. I can feel it here. Yep. And as I said, I always, say that I always watch other channels here, and there is so much animosity in people's, how I'm gonna be philosophical, how they convey words to not, trying not to offend other YouTubers, big ones, big names. And it drives me mad as well, because, I mean, if it's your channel, you can say whatever you want. You're not gonna offend anybody. If somebody finds themselves offended, well, it's up to them, I never offended anybody. I'm not gonna offend anybody, but I am gonna say people that I like, and if you don't like them, who cares? Because there are people I really love here, and, I already said who they are, and I talk to them here and there over Instagram or Messenger or stuff, and, YouTube is not a right tool to show yourself as you are. I think that I'm one of the few that actually talks about their life as it is, and not trying to embellish it, or not trying to, make myself, because that's what those people do. I'm trying to mimic it, and it's so funny because, if you're gonna have the light, if you're gonna have the time to do everything, and then talk about, look great, and then talk about your sad life, I mean, come on, you just did all that to talk about your depression, and you look perfect. No, nope, nope. I don't buy it. I never will. This is the YouTube. Having a phone, talking to people, without script, without, oh, I'm gonna tear up in advance, just, there are people who do that, and I don't get that. I'm just kind of frustrated. I had pretty strange dreams about some YouTubers this night, and it was really funny because I don't watch them anymore, and they just creeped into my dreams, and we had some adventures in my dream. I don't know what was happening there, but I don't know. Anyway, my mom is going to the hospital this Friday, and I think she's going to be admitted Sunday, because Friday she just goes there to sign in. Sunday, just like the same last time, she goes to the hospital, and Monday there's a surgery, so we'll see what happens. Just, have your fingers crossed, because she's going to have a surgery, and then they're going to see if she needs chemo, radiation, or immune therapy. And if it's just an immune therapy, she's not going to lose her hair or anything. If it's radiation or chemo, the results. So, and she doesn't want to do that, so she just wants to do immune therapies. I didn't even know that existed. So anyway, my hair is growing long, and I'm trying to find a hairdresser, but it's really hard because I have to explain everything, and they don't want to be, explained to, because they know everything the best. And after 12 years, my hairdresser had to go to the retirement. So, and with her, it was like, I just come to the chair, and she said, the same, yes, just a little bit shorter here, a little bit longer here. And we talked while she was cutting my hair, and it was always a fun process, because we always ended up doing something really strange and funny and just wacky and weird, and with my hair, and it's hard to find another person like that. And I'm all oily. My face is so oily. mm, see, when I do this, then it hurts. And I open my mouth, then it's like pulling. And I do that, well, I feel it, you can feel it. That something was done to your bone. Anyway, I'm gonna show you the painting after it's done because it's gotta be, retouched with a lot of stuff. It's just like a paint now, and it's an idea, and then I go into details. But I don't know, it's just so, to me, it's just so weird that people can't find decency to live in peace, and it's such an, in my head, ideal world that we'll never get to. And when I remember when I was a kid in the 80s and beginning of the 90s, and in the 80s we were still a communist country here, because in 91 we had a war till 96, and then we got our democracy and we got to European Union and stuff. But when I remember when we were in communism, it wasn't like a communism in China and stuff. It was like a socialism here. It was different. Everybody had the same rights, and we had everything. And when it changed to democracy, everything was fine. One little period, and then the politicians started to steal, and everything just went to hell. And there's just two layers of society now: poor people and extra rich people, and in between there's nothing. Oh, there is, under us, there is, under normal poor people, there is even those that are like poor, that are really, really on the street. And it's just so strange. Sorry, it was a notification from my phone carrier. Anyway, I don't know, why am I talking about politics now? I don't know. I guess that's, I don't know, China and stuff that's happening there just gets to me, because I don't read the news, but I see it on Facebook, what people talk, and there is so much misleading information, and there's so much hate, and there's so much racism, and even in, America is one country that doesn't surprise me for racism, but still, if you watch the Oscars and you saw that, I'm just gonna say you're gonna be surprised how relevant it is to America right now, because it shows the levels of society, and it shows how far people are willing to go to, I don't know, to get to their dreams. And it just, to me, it's just a great picture of the world right now in one little movie. And when the director won, and they won the script, the movie, the director, and the best foreign language movie, and I was so happy. And of course he spoke in Korean, and he had a translator. And this morning I saw on Twitter that some American asshole, I'm sorry but it's true, and he's from the press, wrote that, some racist comments about that why did he win, in America. And a lot of stars really rebelled against him, and because it's so racist. I was like surprised that, I kind of knew that it's going to happen, because, as I said, America, sorry, but guys, you are not very tolerant to other people if they're not speaking your language, and if they're different color, and it just drives me mad, because you're all just got there by chance, and you stole the country. And I'm gonna be brutally honest, it's awful. from the natives. So, don't just don't be racist. I don't know. It kind of drives me crazy. I guess people would be racist toward me as well. I mean, I do speak English and stuff, but genetically, when I was tested, there is a lot of um, there is a lot of Mongolian inside of me, and there's a lot of Asian inside of me, and my ancestors from my father's side were from Germany and Austria and Switzerland and those Nordic countries, and my mother's side were from Asia and Mongolia and those other countries that are seen as just it's a total two different worlds, and I just feel that maybe that Asian gene inside of me went crazy when I saw all that. I don't know. I was just so surprised that people are so that there is such a phobia going through the world still, not just disease-wise, but skin color-wise or language-wise, or why would you speak English if you don't know English on the Oscars? That doesn't make sense. We should celebrate the differences and the creativity, the artistry, the movie itself. And if you haven't seen Parasite, see it. I saw it like 2 days ago, and I was like, I saw it after the win actually, because I know all the other movies from the director, and I was just waiting the right moment to see it, and I said to myself, if it wins just one Oscar, I'm gonna watch it. And it's not that I wouldn't watch it, but I was just looking for the right time, and it was such a great time to watch it after the win, because when you talk about movies and when you talk about perfect movies, that's the movie you're not gonna find a flaw in. No flaws. And there is so much issues there in the movie about race issues, about mental health, about society, about upstairs, downstairs, about rich and poor, about violence, about lying, about morality, and it just gets you because it's so real. And I guess it got some people that found themselves in that, and they just went all crazy on Twitter, and their racism shows. So racism lives on, and I don't get it. I don't know, maybe because I'm grown in this country where there's not much racism, there's not much xenophobia and stuff. There's just so, we don't have a lot of diversity here. But as I see people in my country, other people that are tourists, we are always nice to them. Nobody ever says anything, but I don't know. Anyway, I'm sorry about this mad political Oscar whatever rant. I just wanted to say what I'm dealing with right now, and I'm just very surprised by some people's opinions, because there are opinions and there is a freedom of speech, of course, but if it's hate and if it's racism, I will never condole to that. I will always say fuck off. I'm just gonna be honest, because there's just no place in this world for that kind of thinking. We are so fragile as people, and we should all be together, and not trying to preach, but guys, it is what it is. I love you. Subscribe if you want to. If I offended somebody, I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. Bye. Love you.